running Facebook ads. Like, yeah, I looked on your highlights and you were getting like crazy cost per leads for those ecom brand guys.
Yeah.
Like $5 cost per lead, $6 cost per leads.
Yeah. So that's actually for
running a full stack email marketing agency for ecom and DTC companies, as well as digital and info product companies with the help of AI is huge for us right now. And I'd like to discuss why starting an AIAA right now isn't the fastest way to get to 10K per month, and also why it isn't the solution to getting your first few clients. There are a lot of things to manage in an AI automation agency and pretty much just any business. And the goal of this video is just to mentally prepare you for what's to come and also to introduce you to a really crazy opportunity right now. And even social media marketing agencies are hard to get off the floor when you first start out. But AIAA presents a great angle for people with perhaps a little coding or developer experience to maybe tap into starting a side hustle or maybe starting a side business, which could potentially out-earn your current salary or job. And even beginners with no experience and 16-year-olds in high school can start their own business and agency just by the use and help of ChatGPT and some AI and no-code tools like Bubble and BotPress. A high school friend of mine who's already been working on chatbots and actually learning chatbots back in 2015, 2016, has already worked with multiple banks in North America and has made multiple seven figures by the age of 23. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't start an AI automation agency, but I want you to consider maybe doing a hybrid model just like I am. And in today's video, I'm gonna be explaining how you can combine an SMMA and an AIAA to make even more money. All right, so now I'm gonna be teaching you how to start an email marketing agency or an EMA. All right, so what will we be learning today? So firstly, I'm gonna be introducing to you what is an EMA, what is an email marketing agency, what's the pros and cons, and why am I going all in on this business model. Number two is how I sign clients now versus how I signed clients when I first started. Number three, I'm going to be introducing a few niches to dive into, which I think is really high potential. And number four, I'm also going to be talking about how to scale your own email marketing agency. All right, so a little bit about me. Why listen to this random Chinese guy on your screen right now? Well, we work with e-commerce businesses and also info product businesses. I'm really happy operating my agency right now. Since it's really rewarding as I get to travel the world, meet different clients, and work with different people in different industries. So I'm able to really stimulate myself. I love working with people in really cool industries. We recently took on a client in the growth serum niche in Japan. We're doing a creative strategy partnership with them in terms of ads and email marketing. But we just purely focus on maximizing revenue per lead on our business's email list. Each business has an email list, and even business people have email lists. As Russell Brunson said, the most important asset you have isn't, your Instagram page or your YouTube channel, but it's your email list, and a healthy indicator of whether or not you're optimizing and actually really using your email list to the best potential if you're making $1 per subscriber on your email list. So that is our entire goal with our agency, is just to maximize the revenue per recipient on our clients' email lists. I also love to cook and spend time in the gym. My actually business mentor told me to spend less time cooking and less time training, but I'm just a regular guy, so I'm no different from you. I just put in the work, and if you do it too, you can do it. You can just attain a lifestyle just like I did. In the past 1.5 years or so, we've been pulling out around close to $1.7 million in revenue, not profit, between our business partners. So that is a little bit of proof there. All right, so now let's dive into why start an email marketing agency in 2023. All right, so here are the pros. So first of all is the pricing advantage. So when you're pricing for email marketing, what you're pretty much doing is making your client pure profit, because your client has already paid for all those leads to be on their list, right? They paid for those leads, let's say through Facebook. These leads come in from a Facebook ad, and then they register to their email list, and then your client has more subscribers now. Your goal is to make sure that almost every single one of those subscribers on that email list of your clients buys a product and actually has a great experience. You don't want to just make them buy, but you also want to make sure that they have a good shopping experience and they actually want to buy from you again. And therefore, because you're making your client almost pretty much pure profit, actually depends on the industry you're working in. But let's say you're working in a digital product niche. Pretty much all of your clients' sales are going to be pure profit because they're program sales or course sales. So they have really high margins. So this gives you a lot of room to charge performance fees. And I'll show you a little bit more about what I mean in a bit. Number two is there's lower stress. Let's say you're handling ads for a business. They're spending, let's say 100K, 200K, 300K a month on advertising. And if you, let's say, make a little simple mistake on the creative side, or maybe even the targeting side, or maybe even the ad copy side, you just essentially, I don't want to say wasted $300,000, but you just messed with their budget and messed with their marketing budget. And that's just more stress on your plate compared to, let's say you're working as an email marketing partner, you're handling all of bottom of funnel marketing. So basically after all the leads have come in, it's now your job to actually, milk cash and revenue from these leads. So it's just less stress for you. Number 3, I just wanted to introduce the online education space. Tap into email marketing for online education. It's a super high return on investment, task to do, because you can then go on, let's say 1 year later or 2 years later, start signing these clients for extremely high performance fees. And last but not least is that you can keep your team extremely lean, because all you really need is a few key hires when you reach 30K a month to 50K a month. And I'll also be covering this later on in this video, so stick around if you want to know how to do that. So the benefit of this is that you have higher profit margins, so that means you keep more of the revenue that you take home, which means you get paid more, which is another plus. All right, now what are the cons of running an email marketing agency? Well, the cons is that it's not the top of funnel, so you're not directly speaking to the traffic or the cold traffic. Usually in marketing, where the traffic is where the money is. The closer you are to the top of funnel marketing, the more you can potentially get paid. The second problem is that you have to rewire your brain to think like a copywriter, turning words into money, rather than what schools have taught you all along is just to write as many complicated words and make it sound as cool and fancy as possible. But no, this is the exact opposite. So you have to start rewiring your brain. And it was super tough for me when I first started out. And the third con is it's super hard. I've even struggled with this right now. It's just super hard to find great copywriters to write for you. So the hiring process and the training process is gonna be a little long. And what you can do to combat this is you can offer your writers a higher performance incentive. So the more money they make your clients, the more money they make too. All right, so now I've talked about the pros of starting an email marketing agency. What are the pros of starting an AI automation agency? Well, an AI automation agency first is pretty easy to get into, so it has low barrier to entry. It's kind of like dropshipping back in 2016, 2017. Secondly, you can offer this really new AI automation angle to existing businesses. So rather than competing with other agencies on who's better, you're competing on something that the market has never seen before. Number 3 is you can charge pretty premium prices, because these are super highly valuable assets to businesses to have these automations set up and actually have chatbots deployed on their websites. And what are the cons of starting an AIA? First con is that it's not the highest, I'd say, priority on a business owner's list, but a lot of businesses do look to want to automate things because things just get too messy when they're scaling or let's say when they're plateauing. And even when they're plateauing, even when there's no movement in the business, some businesses want to spend, let's say, a couple of weeks or even a couple of months just on automating things. Every business needs to automate things, but it just depends on what priority it is in this particular business or for your particular niche or client that you're looking to work with. Number 2 is that you may need to outsource a team, and that could be pretty expensive considering that you're hiring developers. And let's say you're starting to scale and you're starting to work with more clients and more clients and more clients. Each client has very different needs, so that those developers are going to have to work over time. But this is a good problem to have, just having too many clients to work with. Number 3 is that there is scaling issues. Just like I said, each client has very different needs, and compared to an ideal situation in an ideal world, each client has the same needs. So all you have to do is just pretty much solve one client's problems and duplicate all of the systems for those other clients, which makes it super easy to scale. And you can just pretty much work with 1,000 clients at once. But since this industry is very personalized, each business has its own needs and has its own background and how it operates. These chatbots and softwares are going to be vastly different, and it's going to be harder to scale down the line. All right, so I see a lot of guys fall into this trap of shiny object syndrome when they first start out a new agency or even just a new business model. But a lot of these guys just give up after a couple of weeks of trying, after a couple of days even of outreach and finding clients. They don't get a reply from their cold email or the cold DMs. But the reality is this first client comes after a certain amount of tries, whether that's the first week, first month, maybe even first year. A lot of agencies don't even find their first client after a couple of years. But my point here is that don't just be this person to give up after your first try or first couple of tries or first couple of weeks, even first couple of months. Put in the work for 6 months, put it in consistently, and I guarantee you're going to find your first client for your agency, whether or not that may be, an email marketing agency or an AI automation agency. And this is how I kind of run my, client outreach systems. We have an outbound team. My partner actually manages all of the cold emails we send through on Lemlist. All right, so here is a super important tip that you need to know before starting an AI automation agency. And I get it. Maybe most of you might be thinking, you can't be serious. This guy's trying to take all our money. He's doing AI automation, so why shouldn't I? I'm not saying you shouldn't do an AI automation agency. It's a little clickbaity, I know. I want you to include both AI automation and also have an SMMA service as well. But my point here is automating and streamlining processes and systems in a business to save time usually is a problem of businesses which have a lot of lead flow or a lot of traffic, right? And most businesses that I personally work with or have experience with working with, want that quick and instant fix when they're working with, let's say, a premium agency who charges high prices. And most of the time, agencies don't just quickly flip your business around. And if you're looking for that, then you're in the wrong place. When I first started out 1 year ago, I made the mistake of working with and reaching out to these low quality businesses businesses with not much lead flow. And that's why I was stuck at 15 clients and working in my agency miserably, and I just felt like I was working a job. So it's really important that you start changing up your pricing model, which I'm going to be going through in the next slide. And I also want to discuss why I'm going hybrid, why I'm also adding AI automation services on top of my SMMA services. And the reason why is because this kills 3 birds with 1 stone. The first point is that you can start planning for a long-term exit if you start building a software company now. And to start building a software company, you need to have your first few customers. And who better to be your customers than the clients of your agency who already love your service? And the third benefit is that you also get to learn how to market for businesses and also how to defend their business, how to actually maximize what they're getting. That's making sure that every cog is working perfectly and the machine is well oiled. You'll be able to expose yourself to marketing as well as be able to fulfill the back-end side of things and the product side of things. And even better, there's a higher chance if you offer both to dive into equity deals. And that's actually how you make the most money, is start actually having a cut and actually a share of someone's business. So we've gotten this far in the video. How do we actually start a hybrid agency? So here are some screenshots and testimonials from my clients in my agency that I work with. And one of my clients have been telling me that he can't keep track of all the clients that he's referring to us. Our agency, we get retainers and we get invoices, anywhere from like 1.5K to 3K to 5K, 8K, 10K, all the way up to 25K. All we're really doing right now to add an extra 15 to 20K per month to our bottom line is just by offering our current clients AI services. And this transition is just so easy that it can just instantly double your revenue if you're doing well as an SMMA owner already. But yeah, here are the 2 ways I will go about, transitioning into a hybrid model agency. You could, like me, sign clients using SMMA first and then upselling them AIAA services after you've actually outperformed and over-delivered on your service and your clients are super happy with you. Or you could do the other way around, or the flip side is where you sign clients using the AIAA method and then you upsell them SMMA services after they're super happy. And I would say this is an easier barrier to entry. So I would say maybe enter the market using AIAA and then upselling them SMMA and then transitioning into a hybrid, which then you can also sell as software to. And this is kind of the overview of what you guys should be doing if you're starting with the SMMA angle. And all you have to do is just switch these 2 around if you're starting with the AIAA angle. And one of my coaches who actually personally taught me how to get really good at business and copy is Peter Semis. And he taught me that if you're not charging performance fees, then you're leaving a lot of money behind. And after implementing this specific technique, I was able to double my agency's revenue next month. Take a look at the high-res detail attributed sales for August so far. This is August of this year, and I'm just looking at the dashboards and I've been just looking. But we make our clients a lot of money from emails. You can see here, just as just one one part of the day. I think it's like 5 minutes of one day. But on this client, this is one client only, and we make 25% of all of the sales that we make him from email. So from here alone, we already make him like 2.5. We already made 2.5K for our agency, and this is only for one client. So if you're able to make your clients lots of money via emails, and you're able to charge these high performance fees, and therefore you're able to take home $20,000 per month retainers, and on top of that, take on another $20,000 in performance fees. So this is just a great business model because clients are just so chill about you being able to make them money on autopilot. They just super happy to pay you a big check at the end of a single month. And yeah, this is a problem that a lot of AIA owners face, right? They don't know how to charge performance fees for their clients. And the reality is it's harder to charge performance fees and working in the AI niche because you're pretty much just building projects for people, unless you're building some sort of AI lead generation, but this is AI automation. So you're pretty much charging a one-off. You're pretty much getting paid by project. Now let's talk about the top niches in email marketing. I'm just going to introduce you and give you 3 niches that I'll be tapping into. And 2 of the niches I'm currently working in, so that's why I'm recommending it. But the e-com niche, you always do email marketing for e-com clients and e-com brands, and actually helping them make money on autopilot and make sure that the lifecycle marketing of their business is handled properly. And on top of that, what you could do is you could upsell these people AIAA services, just like chatbots, CRM management and data collection, maybe even handling their MailChimp and CRMs. And I think that's a really great pair of an SMMA and an AIAA service, rather than doing media buying and doing chatbots, which don't really make as much sense as a dual service. But having email marketing plus some sort of AIAA automation service is super good and super valuable, and you can scale that pretty easy. Secondly is digital products and info products. So also a niche and industry that I work in. But what you could do for digital products, you can handle their email marketing, you can handle their list health and deliverability, and also help them manage sales and flash sales and actually plan it for your clients because they're just too busy, creating content and actually making sure that the students inside their courses are happy. And as an AIAA service, what you could do is you could automate link changes. Let's say your client runs webinars. Let's say your clients are running challenges. You can automate these link changes for them using Zapier or using AI automation. What you could also do is you could build chatbots inside their programs to make sure that their students are satisfied. And if they have any urgent questions or any ideas they wanted to run by anyone, they could always chat with the AI and they would never know that's actually an AI, but they think it's actually you. And the last but not least is advertising. And this is actually a niche I'm trying to get into as well with my business partners because we love to run ads and we love to market and write good copy. But what we could do is start write copy for all aspects of ads, funnels, websites, VSLs, landing pages for e-com clients and even digital product clients, and also offer chatbots, CRM management, and data collection on top of that. In terms of scalability, all of these are high, but as all businesses are, each client has their own needs. So scalability will depend on the differences of those clients. But the more identical your clients are, the easier it is to scale. By the way, I'm launching a free Discord community for email marketing agency owners and copywriters, as well as AI automation agency owners who want to start their own agency. So click on the link in the description to join my newsletter where I personally write 2 emails per week documenting my journey of running a 6-figure per month agency. I'll also drop the link to join the free Discord community down there. So feel free to join the newsletter if you're interested in participating in a community of agency owners. And while we're at it, drop me a follow on Instagram at HugoFitzo and drop this video a like and comment if you enjoyed it so far, and even subscribe if you enjoyed the content. All right, now let's talk about scaling an email marketing agency to 6-figure per month. It was a lot easier to scale, this email marketing agency to 6-figure per month compared to my Facebook ads agency and scaling that to 50K a month. A lot of my clients for my email marketing agency comes from referrals and inbound leads, and we spend pretty much little to no time per month on doing outreach and finding clients. And we spend most of our time and our attention on getting our current clients better results so then we can just profit off those performance fees even more. And the key hires that we've made so far is one amazing copywriter, which we're not afraid to overpay. And that copywriter actually trains all subsequent copywriters by creating SOPs for them. We also have one automations expert who handles all the automations in terms of email automations and SMS automations for all of our clients. We also have one project manager to overlook all communication. And I also have one VA and personal assistant who helps me do the grunt work of most things in my business. And we also have a COO who handles all the taxes and accounting. So there it is. This is why you should do a hybrid agency instead of starting an AI automation agency or an SMMA, or rather use one or the other to find your first few batch of clients and then upsell your clients on the opposite service so that you can get best of both worlds and also plan your long-term exit plan. Follow for more videos and I'll see you in the next